remember this formula. K is coefficient of active earth pressure of silt, and Ka is nothing but 1 plus sine theta by 1 minus sine theta. Okay, here where theta is angle of intersection, here cohesion is neglected. Here cohesion is neglected. We are not considering cohesion soil, cohesionless soil. There, that is that part. But here we are not we are considering as cohesion neglected, and gamma sub W is nothing but submerged unit weight of silt material. Means unit weight of the silt material. Like you can say unit weight of water. Same like unit weight of silt material we have to consider here. H is nothing but height of soil deposited. H by 3 is nothing but this value. I think once again see this one. Okay, here this is small image. Here there is a dam. Okay, here due to this silt pressure, suddenly the sand, how much it is there? It is overflowing. Okay, if it is overflowing means immediately what means what? The water will be disturbed and dam also will be disturbed. Okay, especially during earthquake time, it will be, we can face this one also. Now, if the upstream face is inclined, vertical height of silt support on soil act as a vertical force. Okay, means what he is saying here, it is a upstream face. Where upstream face will be there for us? Here upstream face will be there for us. Okay, if it is in inclined, it may somehow, in some cases it may be inclined either in this way or in this way. Okay, the vertical weight of silt supported on slope also acts as vertical face. Means here, means what is the here meaning? See here, that upstream face you can see in this image. See here how it is there. It is also in somehow slope way. It is also in somehow slope. Means here the silt pressure also will act here in slope. Okay, in absence of any reliable data for the type of silt is going to be deposited. Means for suppose in absence, for suppose you forget to make seismic forces dissolve at this time, at this stage if you are considering silt pressure also, it will be neglected for us. Okay, hence total horizontal forces will be 3.6 h square, that is 1.8 h square kilonewton per meter. This is our value, final value you can say. Run and vertical force will be, means this is for horizontal 1.8 h square kilonewton per meter, and 4.6 is for vertical you can say. Means vertical is somehow we have to apply more as it is the slope. So there is a chance of earthquake dissolve. Whenever earthquake it is the slope will affect more. For this purpose here silt pressure we are considering almost 4.6 h square for horizontal 1.8 h square, and for silt, sorry, and for vertical 4.6 h square. In most of the gravity dam design, silt pressure is neglected. The basis for neglecting this force is dirt. Okay, means generally we won't consider this silt pressure dissolve, but in rare cases we will consider wherever earthquake is there more. At that conditions we will consider this one. Initially the silt load is not present, and maybe by time becomes significant, it get consolidated to some extent and therefore less like a fluid. Moreover, silt deposited in the reservoir is somewhat impervious and therefore will help to minimize uplift and under the dam. Means if you are considering this silt pressure, what will happen? We can control our uplift pressure. We can control our uplift pressure. Okay, initially this load is not present, but going on day to day by different incidents, we can say by different incidents, they have started considering silt pressure also. Okay, now one more it is that is ice pressure. Okay, the ice pressure is which may be formed on the surface of the reservoir in cold countries may sometimes melt and expand. Means where we will see obviously in cold area in India you can say Shimla. Okay, like Shimla you can say. Okay, like border Nepal border you can say, there what will be there somehow cold area it is there. Just I have given example for you. Okay, means what we can say ice it is there, means in somehow it will be melt means it will form into ice. Okay, and somehow in some cases it will form into liquid. So melt and expand, both cases will be there. So here also we have to consider our ice pressure. The dam face has been resist to thrust exerted in the expanding ice. Means due to this expansion and everything, here he has started ice pressure also. This force acts linearly along the length of the dam and at reservoir level. Okay, means how much length it is there, this will be act. Okay, the magnitude of force varies from 250 to 1500 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, means depending on the temperature we have to decide. Depending on the temperature variations we have to say. Means morning, say like periods you can say morning 9 to 12, how much temperature is there, how much temperature it is there. Next 12 to 4, how much temperature is there. 4 to 6, how much temperature is there. 6 to 9 p.m. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. how much temperature is there. 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. 12 a.m. once again, how much temperature is there. Like this what we have to do based on temperature variations in just now I said for one day, entire year you have to consider, and we have to decide this magnitude force. It may be up to 25, 250 to 1500 kilonewton per meter square. On an average, the value of 500 kilonewton may be allowed under ordinary conditions. Means if it is ordinary conditions, like you can say that location neither cold nor normal. In that cases, you can decide 500 kilonewton per meter square. Okay. Now, the weight of dam body and its foundation is the major resisting force. Means mainly this will be depend upon overall weight of dam. In two-dimensional analysis of a gravity dam, a unit length of dam is considered. Unit length means generally if you see two-dimensional means what? Only front view you can say. Okay, in two-dimensional analysis gravity dam, unit length of dam is considered. Generally this point is, I think this is not that much important for you. Okay, the cross section can be divided into rectangles and triangles. Means how it is there, I will say. For suppose this is our dam. Okay, means I am dividing this dam. Whenever I am designing, what I will do, I will divide into parts. For suppose I am dividing into two parts here. So this part is rectangle and this part is triangles. Like this parts we have to decide for getting easy consideration. Means to get easily to design. The weight of each along with their CGs can be determined. Means here center of gravity and here center of gravity we have to determine. The resultant force of all these downward forces will be represent the total weight of dam acting at the center of gravity of dam. Based on these resultant forces at the downward forces, means uh, downward forces how much it is there, we have to consider both and we have to decide our center location where the more weight will be act, that will be the center of gravity of dam. Okay, now design consideration, it is a combination of two. One is when the reservoir is full and when reservoir is empty. Both cases we have to consider when water is there full and when water is not there. Okay, in both cases we have to consider compulsory. Why? Because whenever water it is there, weight load will be fall more. Whenever water is not there, load will fall somehow less. So both cases are important for us. Now case 1, when reservoir is full, the major forces acting are weight of dam, external water pressure, uplift pressure, earthquake force in serious seismic zones. Means especially in serious seismic zones, this all will be important. Weight of dam, that is important. Next, external water pressure, uplift and earthquake forces are important. The minor forces are silt pressure, ice pressure, wave pressure. These all are external and these all are minor. Silt pressure, ice pressure, wave pressure. Okay. For the most conservative designs and from purely theoretical point of view, one can say that a situation may arise when all the forces may act together. Means whenever we are designing, how we have to consider at a time everything will come, like wind, like earthquake, like floods. Okay, if it is coming at a time, consider it as at a time everything will come and design. Okay, but such a situation will never arise, because generally if you see, whenever earthquake is coming we won't get wind, but whenever wind is coming we won't get earthquake. Okay, hence all forces are not taken generally together. Okay, means we have to consider, we have to think that maybe it will come and we have to design so for this purpose generally our engineers what they will do, they will consider everything and they will design. Okay, USBR means United States and Brazil has classified the normal load combination and extreme load combinations are given below. Okay, Based on ESBR, they have given some load combinations for us. We have to follow those are normal load combination. Water pressure up to normal pool level. Normal pool level is normal level, you can say. Normal uplift we have to consider, silt pressure and ice pressure. This class of load is taken when ice force is serious. Means whenever you can say ice pressure is there more, then we have to consider normal uplift, silt pressure and ice pressure. Okay. Water pressure up to normal pool level. One more combination, that is normal lift, earthquake force, silt pressure. This combination is normal uplift, silt pressure, ice pressure, and this combination is normal uplift, earthquake force, silt pressure. Now, water pressure up to maximum reservoir level means maximum reservoir level means what is the level of that capacity of that dam. At that case, we have to consider normal uplift, silt pressure. Both normal uplift and silt pressure we have to consider. Now, extreme load combination. These all are normal. And now we will see extreme load combination. When pressure due to maximum pool level, extreme uplift pressure without any reduction due to drainage and silt pressure. Means whenever it is a maximum pool level, means maximum water level, how much it is there. At that case, we have to consider full uplift pressure without any reduction due to drainage and silt pressure. Here you may deduct normal uplift, how much it is there. Deduct something value. For suppose if the range is 2 to 4, if it is required only to consider this one, but here you should not deduct anything. Maximum value how much it is, that value we have to take compulsory. Okay. Now empty reservoir without earthquake forces to be computed, means this is for empty case now. Okay. Empty reservoir without earthquake force to be computed for determining bending diagrams, etc. Means here whenever we are considering empty reservoir, here no need of considering earthquake force, but only we have to determine here bending diagrams, where bending will be there, like pressure distribution diagram we can say, like that we have to design. And for reinforcement design, for grouting studies or other purposes. Okay. Means whenever reservoir we are considering that,